What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you a little bit about how my wife and I, over the course of about 1 year, were able to get out of about $30,000 in debt. Um, and that was with like a low annual income, or we weren't making that much money. I think at the time, probably about 45,000 dollars a year. And we were able to get out of around $30,000 in debt. I'm gonna start by telling you like this. It is not a simple, easy process. You gotta put in the work. You gotta be mindful of what you're doing, what you're spending money on, but it's definitely possible. A lot of people get overwhelmed by the amount of debt that they have, and I think that could create a lot more problems outside of just trying to get out of debt or make things worse than they are, a lot worse than they are. So I'm gonna jump right into it and tell you what we did to get out of debt. First thing you have to do is change your mindset. Change how you think about money, how you feel about money. Don't be nervous or scared of not making enough money, or feel like, you just can't figure out how to make enough money, or you can't keep the money you have. Just change the way that you think about money. A great way to change how you think about money is just start reading books. Get educated, learn what you can. Thankfully, right now it's Corona season, so we have a lot of time at home to spend doing research and finding ways to learn about things that we're interested in. And I think if you're in a lot of debt, one of the best things you could be doing is figuring out how to get out of that debt. And spending all this time at home during the Corona season, you have a lot of time and opportunity to sit down at a computer or even use your phone. They say nowadays all you need is a phone or a computer and a Wi-Fi internet connection to make money, and I think that's partially true. So the first thing that you want to do is start by changing your mindset. Read books. I definitely recommend Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The book is not going to tell you how to make money per se or how to get out of debt per se, but it's definitely going to help alter your mindset and think differently when it comes to making money. The Millionaire Next Door. Follow Dave Ramsey. He has a great get out of debt plan, the snowball effect. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. The next thing you want to do is identify the debt. Now, when I say identify your debt, I mean as a collective. So all of our debt wasn't just from one thing, a car note or student loans or medical bills or different things like that. Like there was many, people that we owe money to, a lot of debts that we have. And one thing that I know a lot of people don't really realize, you see people with these fancy cars and these nice houses. Well, I wouldn't really consider a house really a debt, depending on the situation, but really nice cars, really nice clothes, fancy things, always going out. I think a lot of people don't realize when you're in debt, you have less than zero. So if I owe more money than I have in my bank, that's going to bring down my net worth. That means I'm in the negative. So for example, if I own a car that costs $30,000, let's just say, and I'm paying on that car monthly, the fact that I owe $30,000 on this car that is depreciating in value means that I have less money than zero, unless I have more than $30,000 in my bank account, which in that case, I probably should have bought the car in cash anyway. But if you don't have at least the amount of money that you're spending on the car saved away, you actually have less than zero, and that puts you, further down in debt. So first of all, you want to identify your debt, figure out what all you owe money on, put them all together, take the time to write it down, figure out the 5 W's. Who do you owe? How much do you owe them? What do you owe them for, I guess you could say. When do you want to pay them off by? What your interest rates are for that particular loan or debt. And then just having that visual picture, I think, helps a lot when it comes to eliminating debt. It gives you that opportunity to see it, and it's something that you can chip away at consistently, whether it be weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever the case may be. Just give you a visual goal to chip away at. The next thing that you want to do is organize your bills. And this kind of goes into the last thing I was saying, just taking the time to sit down and write down everything, all the debts that you have, how you want to eliminate them. I would say put them in order from the highest amount to the lowest amount. If you owe 10,000 on one, 6,000 on the other, 3, and then $800, let's just say. This way you can kind of have them, in ascending order, and then you can figure out, okay, the $800 one, I want to pay that off first. The $1,000 one, I want to pay that off next. all while throwing a little bit of change at each of them, you know, whatever your minimum payment is or whatever you can afford. But the ones that, you know, you're closer to paying off, you want to throw everything you got at them. And I think that's really important. Sorry, it's super hot in here. I think that's really important at giving you the opportunity to really visualize and see what you're, you know, chipping away at. And it's a bit of instant gratification, I guess you can say, which is a big thing nowadays. Next thing I want to go over is ways to make more money. So the biggest thing you can do when trying to get rid of debt is improve your income. Like I said, we weren't making that much money, that much more money than what we had to pay off at the time. So what we did, we found different ways to make more money at the time. My wife, she had a dance studio. So that was one way for us to create some additional revenue. That would be an active income. There's ways that you can create passive income. Another thing that I had did, something as small, it could be cutting grass, you know. People don't want to cut their grass. Take the time out to go cut somebody's yard. Charge them 15, 20 bucks. If you cut enough yards, you know, that might just help pay for a bill for the week, or throw an extra $200 or $250 or $500 at a bill for the month, you know. Whatever you have to do, there's all types of things. Uber, you know, you can do a Lyft. Learn a skill that you can do online. There's so many opportunities out there for ways to create other passive incomes, creating a Shopify account, selling something on Amazon, writing a book, a blog, investing, you know, whatever you have to do, whether it's passive income, active income, or portfolio. Find ways to make money outside of your regular 9 to 5. Now, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to create anything crazy. You know, you don't have to, you know, I think people get overwhelmed when they hear the term being spoke of, creating another stream of income. But at the end of the day, anything that you can do to generate income is good enough. You can get on Craigslist, find things that are in the free section, and sell them. You know, even if you're only making $5, $10, $15, $20 at a time, you collect enough of that money and put it to the side, and you put it towards eliminating your debt, then that's what you got to do, and it'll help. The next step I wanted to focus on was spend less money. You know, especially when you're moving around, which we were at the time, it's hard to not spend money. You know, you go to new places, you want to venture out, you want to go out to see all the restaurants in the area, you want to go to different stores in the area, you want to, you know, do different activities and take advantage of things like that. Now is the perfect time in a way, because, you know, during Corona season like it is, a lot of stores are shut down and a lot of things are shut down. So that doesn't give us the opportunity to get out and do as much and interact as much and spend as much money. But then we have things like Amazon and, you know, ways to shop online. So that kind of forces a lot of people to spend a lot more money. And I think a lot of us are probably spending a lot more money on food too, sitting at home. But, you know, we might be saving money on gas. So that money that you're saving on gas from being at home and not traveling as much, use that to put towards eliminating your debt. Being financially conscious overall is going to help you spend less money and do what you have to do to put more money towards your debt and eliminating your debt. And then the last thing I want to say is just really lock in on paying off your debt. Focus on it, focus your energy on it, think about it all the time. Like I said, start with that mindset, really educate yourself on it, and kind of just like engulf yourself in finances. And you don't have to be a financial expert. You don't have to know everything about, you know, finances and interest rates and investments and whatever. You don't have to know everything about that stuff. All you have to know is what your numbers are and doing what you have to do to get rid of those numbers. Because again, we want to be at zero or in the positives. We don't want to be in the negatives. And that's what we're focused on now, is finding ways to continue on building our net worth by staying out of the negative, staying debt free, and just, you know, moving forward and making as much money as we can ultimately. That's all I have for today. I really wanted to keep this video kind of short and simple and sweet and kind of just straight to the point. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos coming like this, hopefully in the near future. Leave comments, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Nate White, and I'll see you guys next time.